Beneath Madagascar's dense forests lurks a world of unspeakable dread. Hidden in the shadows are eerie remnants of lost species and unsettling legends that defy logic. This island isn't just a place of beauty, it's a realm where the supernatural and the terrifying come to life. Brace yourself, 7 of the most haunting mysteries from this darkly enchanting land. Number 7. The hissing Madagascar cockroach. The Madagascar hissing cockroach is one of the largest types of cockroach, growing up to 2 to 3 inches when fully grown. These fascinating insects come from the island of Madagascar, where they are commonly found living inside decaying logs. There are about 20 different types of hissing cockroaches from Madagascar, and they are often confused with each other, especially by people who keep them as pets. What makes these cockroaches stand out from most others is that they don't have wings. Instead of flying away from danger, they have a unique defense system. They make a loud hissing sound by pushing air through tiny holes in their bodies. This sound can scare off predators, which is important since these cockroaches are easy to catch because they can't fly. Although they can reproduce on their own without a mate, they usually prefer to reproduce the traditional way, with a male and female. These roaches are also known for their climbing skills, and can even scale smooth surfaces like glass. You can tell the males and females apart because the males have thicker and hairier antennae and noticeable bumps on a part of their body called the pronotum. The females carry their eggs inside their bodies and only release the baby cockroaches, known as nymphs, after they've hatched. Interestingly, the parents and babies often stay close together for a long time. In captivity, these cockroaches can live for up to 5 years, and they mostly eat plant material. As their name suggests, the Madagascar hissing cockroach is best known for the hissing sound it makes, which some people think sounds similar to the rattling tail of a rattlesnake or the soothing sound of a rainstick. This hissing is their main way of scaring off predators. Unlike other insects that make noise by rubbing body parts together, these roaches make sounds by forcefully expelling air through special breathing holes called spiracles, located mainly on their 4th body segment. They are the only cockroaches that can create sounds loud enough for humans to hear. The hissing sound can serve 3 purposes: to warn off threats, disturbance hiss; to attract mates, female attracting hiss; and to challenge other males, fighting hiss. Interestingly, even young cockroaches, after their 4th molting stage, can make the disturbance hiss, but only the males make the mating and fighting hisses. Male cockroaches use the fighting hiss to compete for dominance, and the loser will retreat when it's clear they've been beaten. These hissing cockroaches are popular as pets, partly because of their unusual hissing and their calm nature. When first picked up, they might hiss, but they quickly get used to being handled. Number 6. The spectral sounds of the baobab trees. When people think of Madagascar, they often picture lemurs and towering baobab trees. The locals call these trees Rihanna, which means queens of the forest, or tree of life. There's also another poetic name for them, roots of the sky. According to ancient legend, the baobab trees look so unusual because long ago, the devil pulled them out of the ground and pushed them back in upside down, leaving their roots reaching up toward the sky. They are often associated with mystical stories and spectral sounds. Locals believe that the trees are inhabited by spirits. The baobab trees themselves are truly remarkable. On the outside, they have a tough, hard bark, but on the inside, they're like giant sponges filled with water. These trees can store up to 32,000 gallons of water, which helps them survive in dry, harsh environments. We were lucky enough to find a hole in one of the trees, revealing how thick the bark is, about the length of a hand. Beneath the bark lies the soft, water-filled core. The locals make good use of these trees, tapping into the stored water during droughts, using the bark to treat ailments like diarrhea, and harvesting the fruit from the treetops. Speaking of the fruit, it is surprising given how much water the tree holds. It is expected that the fruit will be juicy, but when cracked open, it is dry, chalky, and surprisingly sweet. Baobab trees are truly ancient wonders. Some of them have been radiocarbon dated to be over 2,000 years old. Sadly, these majestic trees are now endangered. Number 5. The enigmatic Chingi Forest. Chingi de Bemaraha, often called the Stone Forest, is a breathtaking sight in Madagascar, where sharp limestone peaks rise from the ground like a strange forest of stone towers, complex valleys, and deep underground caves. Dark cracks. This incredible landscape, shaped over millions of years by the constant forces of wind and water, feels like something out of a fantasy story. The name, Chingi, comes from the local language, meaning where one walks on tiptoes, a perfect description of how you must carefully step around the sharp rocks, as if moving through an old, dangerous maze of stone. Located about 70 kilometers from Madagascar's rough western coast, Madagascar. This nature reserve is a dream for adventurers. calling to hikers and explorers. The limestone shapes, often compared to huge stone cathedrals, have been beautifully carved by nature over many ages, creating a stunning, almost holy maze of tall pillars and narrow paths. It's not just the raw beauty of the land that amazes visitors. It's also the incredible variety of plants and animals, many of which can't be found anywhere else in the world. Every step through this wild land reveals stunning views, hidden caves, and rare wildlife, making it feel like you've stepped into the untouched ancient core of Madagascar. This magical landscape has been named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a sign of its environmental importance and awe-inspiring beauty. Specific routes are set for visitors, ensuring that the delicate limestone structures and the rare species living here stay protected, winding through its valleys. The Manambalo River feeds this lively ecosystem, supporting animals like lemurs, rare birds, and other creatures close to extinction. From its towering stone peaks to its hidden caves full of old secrets, Tsingy de Bemaraja offers an unforgettable, deeply moving experience for anyone lucky enough to explore its otherworldly wonders. Number 4. The mysterious extinct species. Madagascar once had some incredible creatures that are now extinct. These animals were larger than life, and their remains, along with the tales passed down through generations, have added to the island's air of mystery. The fact that these creatures vanished so suddenly makes their disappearance even more spine-chilling, leaving people to wonder about the strange and fascinating history of this unique island. The most logical explanation for this odd situation is that these fruits were once eaten by much larger animals that no longer exist. Over the past 2,000 years, Madagascar has lost 48 species of big creatures, including giant lemurs, hippo-like animals, massive tortoises, and the enormous elephant birds, some of the largest birds that ever lived. These huge animals played a crucial role in the ecosystem by spreading seeds across the island. The last elephant bird disappeared in the 17th century, and without them, the job of scattering seeds has now passed to much smaller animals, like the radiated tortoise, which is only a fraction of the elephant bird's size. Among the extinct animals, giant lemurs were the most important seed spreaders. There were 17 species, and they were all much larger than the lemurs alive today. Many of these giant lemurs had diets rich in fruit, making them key players in maintaining the forest by spreading seeds far and wide. With the extinction of these large creatures, the plants that depended on them to spread their seeds are now in danger. These fruits, designed for much larger animals, have become anachronistic, term meaning they're out of place in time. These plants are now orphans, left without the partners they relied on for survival. Without a way to spread their seeds, they, too, may face extinction in the future. Number 3. The high-pitched call of the ii. The ii is a rare, squirrel-like primate found only in Madagascar. It's the last surviving member of its unique family, Daubentonidae. These curious creatures are nocturnal, meaning they are active at night, and they prefer to live alone high up in the trees of Madagascar's eastern rainforests. Interestingly, fossils found in Egypt and Kenya suggest that the ancestors of today's ii lived in Africa about 34 million years ago, before eventually making their way to Madagascar. One of the most fascinating features of the ii is its hand, particularly its incredibly long third finger. The animal itself is about 40 centimeters long, not counting its impressively bushy tail that adds another 55 to 60 centimeters. Its body is covered in long, rough fur that is either dark brown or black, and it has a short face with large eyes that help it see in the dark. The ii's front teeth never stop growing, just like a rodent's, which helps it gnaw through tough materials. The ii's hands are truly something special. Each hand has 5 fingers, but the third one stands out. It's long, skinny, and almost delicate. It even has a pseudo-thumb, a unique extra bony digit that no other primate has. The ii's fingers are tipped with sharp claws except for its big toes, which have flat nails and are opposable, much like a human's thumb. When it comes to building a home, the ii creates large, round nests from leaves, which it places in the forks of tree branches. As for its diet, the ii loves insects and fruit. It has a clever way of finding insect larvae that live inside trees. It taps on the wood with its special third finger and listens for hollow sounds, which tell it where the bugs are hiding. Once it finds a tasty insect, it uses that same long finger to fish it out of the tree. The third finger also comes in handy when the ii wants to scoop out the soft, juicy pulp from the fruit. Female eyes give birth to one baby at a time, making each new generation of this rare and fascinating creature even more precious. Number 2. The lemur's curse. Lemurs are fascinating creatures found primarily in Madagascar. While lemur broadly refers to many of these unique primates, it specifically includes not only the typical lemurs, but also animals like the avahi, sifaka, indri, and other. In a wider sense, lemurs are linked with animals like the lorises, pato, and bush babies found in Southeast Asia and Africa, though strictly speaking, these are in a different category. Lemurs from Madagascar and the nearby Comoro Islands stand out with their large, striking eyes, faces that resemble a fox, and bodies that remind you of monkeys. They also have strong hind legs to help them leap among the trees. These creatures come in various sizes, ranging from the tiny Madame Bertha's mouse lemur to the much larger indri. Many lemurs sport bushy tails, often longer than their bodies. Although the indri has a mere stump for a tail, their fur is usually soft and woolly in shades of reddish-gray, brown, or black, with some having striking patterns or markings like eye rings or crown patches. The eye is the exception, with its unique features. Compared to monkeys, lemurs aren't quite as smart. However, their sense of smell is excellent, making up for their somewhat weaker eyesight. While a few lemur species are active during the day, most are more accustomed to the night, their eyes specially adapted for seeing in low light. They have a reflective layer in their eyes, giving them better night vision, although they lack the sharp central vision that other animals have. Some other distinctive traits include a moist, hairless nose tip and a special grooming claw on their second toe, except for the eye. Lemurs are gentle, social creatures. With some species living in groups of 10 or more, they spend much of their time in the trees, munching on fruits, leaves, buds, insects, and even small birds or their eggs. Their diets vary widely depending on the species, with some being primarily insect eaters, while others focus on leaves. They breed seasonally, and females often have only one day in the year when they are fertile. Typically, a single baby is born after a gestation period of 2 to 5 months. The newborn clings to its mother's belly before eventually moving to her back as it grows. Number 1. The biodiversity of Madagascar. The island of Madagascar is one of the world's most fascinating biodiversity. The island broke away from Africa about 160 million years ago, and then separated from India 88 million years ago, long before the dinosaurs vanished. Because it's been isolated for so long, Madagascar developed an incredible array of plants and animals. Over 80% of its species exist only there, making it a treasure collection of unique biodiversity. What makes Madagascar even more interesting is that, unlike many other tropical areas, it doesn't have a lot of fruit-eating animals. Most places rely on birds to spread seeds by eating fruits. But in Madagascar, this role is primarily taken over by lemurs, the island's extraordinary primates. Out of nearly 100 species of lemurs, 21 of them eat fruits and help scatter seeds, keeping the island's forests growing. However, Madagascar only has 5 species of birds that help with this task, compared to other parts of the world where birds are the main seed spreaders. Many of Madagascar's native plants produce juicy fruits that should be eaten by animals to help spread their seeds. But strangely, many of these seeds are too large for any living animal to swallow. As a result, the fruits fall to the ground and rot instead of being carried away and planted in new areas. Which of these creepy discoveries in Madagascar that terrified the world did you find the most intriguing? Let us know your answer in the comments section.